What's up? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. You should be on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. All one word, the Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much more, and do me a massive favor, guys. I need you guys to tune in. I haven't done a wrestling-related video in a hot minute. I was trying to push out the content. I just wasn't able to. And recently, just overall in the channel, last week or so, I haven't been able to make videos. I've been working overnight. I just haven't really adjusted my schedule to make it work. But I promise I'm going to be getting some videos out a lot in the next week. But I wanted to do this because Tna Slammiversary is this Sunday. I'm recording this on Saturday, the day before, and I'm going. It is on Long Island. I'm going to be there. 2025, it is July 20th at UBS Arena. So if you know anything, if you watch the channel, I think I did like a review, I did a productions video, whatever. The last time I went to UBS was for AEW Forbidden Door last year. So I haven't been there since. I'm really excited to see another pay-per-view. I haven't gone to a TNA event, so I'm really excited. So I'm going to do my predictions of the cards that have been announced so far. I waited kind of until the day before. I think everything's released. I don't know. I saved most of the cards that I found. Yeah, it doesn't look... Yeah, it doesn't look like they've added anything else. So I should be good, pretty accurate this. So let's switch over to this screen. Nice little logo up there. And we're going to start with the countdown. So these are going to be like the pre-show. There's at least 2 matches announced. There's probably going to be another pre-show match that isn't announced or is announced tomorrow, like last minute. But I'm kind of confused because originally this match was announced on the main card, and then the last TNA show, like this past week, they announced a bunch of new stuff and did a bunch of storyline stuff, and then this got moved to the pre-show. So that's a little weird. So this is for the Women's Knockout Tag Team Championship. This is the Elegance brand, so Ash by Elegance, and the Inspiration, which I believe is another former WWE tag team. But I'm going to go straight up off the bat. Even though this is a pre-show, it is for a title, and I believe that they've been pretty popular, and they've been doing a really good job representing and defending the title, so I'm going to go with the champs. I'm going to go with the Elegance brand. So let's go ahead and unlock that. Okay. And let's move on to the next. Oh, that's not this one. There. This is the next pre-show. So this one's really cool because this was announced last minute. This is a 6-man, a trios match, whatever they're gonna call it. On the pre-show, it is 3 prominent wrestlers from Fourth Rope, which is a indie promotion that's been on the rise lately in the Northeast. You got Zilla Fatu, you have Real One, which is Enzo Amore, if you remember him from NXT and WWE main roster, and then Josh Bishop. So it looks like there's this feud going on now between Fourth Rope, how they let TNA come in, and when they came into their neck of the woods for this pay-per-view, they didn't hit them up at all. So it caused some bad blood. So now that this feud is going to happen on the pre-show, which is pretty cool. So Jake Something, Steve Macklin, and Mance Warner, all pretty prominent TNA guys over the last couple of years. You know, literally was the international title that Macklin owns right now. Has former TNA World Champ. I'm pretty sure Mance Warner was a social media champ, digital media champ, and he's also a big GCW guy. Jake Something's been around forever. I believe he was on NXT and was also in WWE, I believe. This is gonna be a crazy match. And it's cool because this is the first TNA match. It's Zilla's debut, and because TNA has a working relationship with WWE, that's one, especially NXT, that's one step closer to him getting into the WWE. That's really cool. I'm really excited about this. So predictions wise, I didn't have a lot of time to think about this because I wrote down notes, but this is one of the ones that came in last minute. The heat behind Zilla is crazy, and the heel attitude of Real One is pretty big. I wouldn't be surprised if they put over fourth rope. Yeah, I'm gonna go with fourth rope winning. I think that's a little weird, but I think that it builds prominence here, especially for Zilla getting into TNA. It's gonna give him like a step in now that he has that win. Because if he loses, yeah, he might have a grudge, but then he has no, he might not have a reason to come back or leverage to come back. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. So I did that. I did this. I did that out of order. All right. So then going to the main card, the first thing I want to talk about is they announced a card that AJ Styles is returning. We don't know in what capacity. We don't know if he's going to be in action. We don't know if he's going to just do a promo. We don't know if he's going to have a match or anything of the sorts. All we know is that AJ Styles is returning to TNA for the first time in 13 or 12 years. Incredible. People have been asking about this since the partnership and the deal started. This is really cool. I'm excited to see this in person. I'm really excited to see this in person. And then, all right. So then we get really into the main card. So this is our first, I believe, is going to be the first match on the main card. I would be shocked if this isn't the opener. But there's other things that might be the opener. So right here, you have the System with Matt Cardona, which is incredible that Matt Cardona is going to be there. I'm really excited. I got to see him at, was it Final Battle at Hammerstein? Where he took on Jericho. I was like front row for that. So that's really cool. So the System, obviously without Moose, with Matt Cardona taking on Dark State from NXT, which is a rising faction of very new, very fresh young talent that have been really being pushed and pushing themselves in NXT over the last, 2-3 months. So this is really cool because they're getting a chance to shine on a pay-per-view on TNA with easily 3 big players in professional wrestling. Not only do you have Eddie Edwards, who is has the most TNA tag title runs, you have Matt Cardona, who is the Indie King. He was Zack Ryder. He has held multiple mid-card titles in WWE, tag titles in WWE. Like, this is pretty prominent for them because you think about it, a bunch of brand new, very fresh guys from NXT challenging someone like Matt Cardona. It's pretty impressive. So I do think that the System's going to win. I would be shocked to see Matt Cardona lose on Long Island, in my opinion. Especially Brian Myers too. Losing on Long Island, I hope not. Okay. Next, we're going with a women's one-on-one. This is Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell. I love Indy Hartwell. I'm so excited that she got to keep her name. I'm so excited that she got pretty quickly back into wrestling after being released out of nowhere from WWE. Really excited. I feel like she was underused on the main roster. She was great on NXT. She was a former NXT Women's World Champ. I don't know if it's World Champ, but NXT Women's Champion. really great wrestler. I 100% think she's going to win this. I hope. I know Tessa is like the TNA person and she's been winning a lot, but I feel like there's more favor and hype on Indy. And she's just a better wrestler. So I'm going to go with Indy. Okay. Going to the next one. Okay. So this is another one-on-one. This is Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. This is replicating, I believe, a feud or at least a match that has happened previously in WWE when they both were there. I really wish that Cedric would transition to AEW to join the Hurt Syndicate, or the Hurt Business, whatever it's called now. But I think he's going to win this. I'm not 100% sure because I know there's a lot of heat on Ali right now. He's got a little faction going and everything. But I just think, in personal bias, I'm going to go with Cedric Alexander. Okay. Now, this is what I'm super excited about. There is 3 more matches that are probably more important, maybe, because they, there's single titles, I believe. But this is for the TNA tag team titles, currently held by the Nemeth brothers, former Dolph Ziggler, and his brother, which is really cool because I liked his brother on AEW, even though he wasn't really getting any matches outside of Dark. It's cool to see them now working together. They are taking on, it's a 4-way ladder match for the tag titles. They're taking on the Hardys, First Class, and the Rascals. I'm really into the Rascals. Obviously, I'm a diehard Hardys boy, and First Class is cool. I'm not really a huge fan. I feel like there's a bunch of tag teams in TNA that could have replaced them, in my opinion. But I love the Rascals, but I really think, and I really hope, especially at the promo that they did, I think that the Hardys are gonna reclaim the titles here. Because I can't see where their story is gonna go if they lose again. That's basically what I'm gonna go with. Even though I would love to see the Rascals win again. Okay, X Division, Moose versus Leon Slater. I really like Leon Slater, right? I think he's cool. I like his whole aesthetic. I like the way he presents himself. I know he would be the youngest X Division champion ever if he wins this. I don't know if this is the place for Moose to lose, right? I don't know if this is where Moose loses. I want to pick Leon with my heart and soul, but I feel like the build here might not be enough. But again, this win would put Leon over so hard. All right. I originally wrote down Moose, but I'm going to go with Leon Slater. I really want him to win. I think this could be a huge build for him, and this could be a career-defining moment. Taking over someone as etched into the stone as Moose, I feel like that, especially because Moose went from having the world title to losing that to immediately getting the X Division title. Like, he hasn't been titleless for a significant amount of time in a while. I feel like he needs a break. I think that this could be a massive push for some young talent like Leon Slater to establish himself in the X Division and get him going. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, 2 more cards. Okay, we have the Titles vs. Titles women's match. This is the TNA Knockouts Women's World Championship versus the NXT Women's Championship. This is Masha Slamovich versus JC Jane. They are bringing their entourages with them. This is cool. So I know a lot of people have been like, oh, every time they put, a TNA title versus an NXT person, the NXT person takes the TNA title. It's so biased. It so favors. Oh, Masha needs to win. Masha needs to win. Masha needs to win. I get that perspective and that mindset. But here I'm going to play this out for you. What I think they could do, if TNA and NXT want, I know a lot of people say Mariah May's new character, Blake Monroe, is going to be the next person to get the NXT title, right? If you want to set something up that could play out on both companies and give you two different feuds happening at the same time and could play off of each other with this working relationship, what should be done, and I doubt it's going to happen, but I would be so excited if it does, is there's a full circle moment waiting to happen that is waiting in the rafters. Gigi Dolan, formerly Gigi Dolan, now Priscilla Kelly again, is JC Jane's former tag team partner. Okay, former tag team partner. They had a feud where JC Jane turned on her, and then she went and did her own thing with Shotzi, and and then she got released after winning a massive title match. Not a title match, a massive match that put them in the title picture. And what all the programming and all the promos and everything made it seem that they were being pushed, and then all of a sudden randomly gets released. Her boyfriend, husband, fiance, I don't know, one of the guys in the Rascals, is in a massive TNA player who's on this card, who has a title match for the tag titles this night. So it wouldn't be shocking if she was there to watch her boyfriend. It wouldn't be shocking because they have been working together on the other indie circuits, and she's been breaking out on all these different indie circuits. For her, especially, I believe she's doing House of Glory. She's gonna be in the area. She has stuff booked on the East Coast. I would not be shocked if JC Jane wins, and then right after she's about to celebrate, she gets attacked, bombarded. Priscilla Kelly, TNA debut, takes her out. Says, I'm coming for that TNA world title. Now you have a feud. Now she has both titles, and you have a feud to pull off the TNA title, and then you also set up that extra feud for Mariah May, Blake Monroe, whatever her name is now, to take the NXT title. So now there's two different divisions. There's two different directions that are coming for the two different titles that have them go back to their respective companies. But Blake Monroe can come and mess with her while she's trying to defend it against Priscilla Kelly, and vice versa. You have this play now, these two different feuds to take both titles back off. This could be a really interesting full circle moment because it could reignite that feud where she turned on her and now she's taking her out all these, a year and a half later in a whole different company. That's a full circle moment that I hope that they can tap on. I doubt they will, but I'm going to go with JC Jane because I want that to happen. Okay. And then finally, which I'm assuming is going to be the main event. It's either going to be this or the tag titles. I'm assuming it's going to be this. This is a three-way title match for the TNA World Championship, currently held by NXT's Trick Williams. We have Joe Hendry, former TNA champion, and Mike Santana. So Mike Santana, New York's own, born and raised, former AEW guy, been in a bunch of stables, did his thing with Chris Jericho, did his thing with oh my god, Eddie I'm not gonna remember his name because he hasn't been on TV in forever. But he's been around. He's been a major player in the Indies and TNA since returning from AEW, all over the Northeast, and been really staking his claim lately in TNA, where he's challenged for this multiple times now. So this is going to be interesting because being in New York, it could be very easily possible that Mike Santana somehow pulls out a win here, whether it's pinning Joe Hendry or something shady happens with someone else coming in and interfering. But I'm going to go with Santana. I'm going to go with the New Yorker. I'm going to go with the guy who hasn't won it before. I'm going to go with something that could be massive heat, massive draw, especially a hometown pop. And that's my predictions. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, that's all the cards, I believe. I'm really excited to check this out. Trying to see in my phone if there's anything I missed. No. Highlight, I 100% believe is going to be the tag match. I love a ladder match. Last time I was at UBS, I got to see the TNT ladder match that Jack Perry won. So it's kind of cool that I'm seeing another ladder match. This is sick. I'm really excited for this show. Get in the comments, guys. Are you excited? Who do you think? What predictions do you have? Let me know what you guys think. Remember, this is the Vinyl Casket Home to Layman's Taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. All one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more, and do me a massive favor and stay lame.